Hello there and welcome to another 2v2 for Rome Total War. I normally team up with Elita Legionarri when I play 2v2s, but this time I'll be playing against him. And on my team will be Paladin Bob, playing as Rome here. Now this time I'm going, actually I might pause the game here for a second. I'm going for a build that I used once before, but it was in a battle where one of the enemies, they DC'd right at the start, so they were taken over by an AI. So that wasn't really a fair battle to kind of test this sort of build out. So in a way, it's a lot of cheap pikemen, Livy pikemen. I think there's 9 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 Livy pikemen, 1 Bactrian Royal Guard. Now the Bactrian Royal Guard will be, well, at least the idea was that it would be really good for in a support role, not only in combat, but also it has the encourage ability, so should stop them from routing as quickly, increase morale, well it does. And these Persian light archers, which I think are fairly cheap light archers if I remember rightly. They're still good archers, they've got a good missile damage, but I don't think they're very, well, not many archers are good in melee combat. You can get archers, I think, that are good in melee, but these archers certainly aren't. They're still good archers. Anyway, so to compensate for my cheaping out, shall we say, on infantry, I have compensated with good cav and plenty of them. So I have 1, 2, 3 Hellenic cataphracts, a Bactrian Royal cav, and I think I had another, here we are down here, I have a Bactrian Noble Horse. So good cav and plenty of them, plenty of poor infantry, but they're pikes, so they'll still do really well from the front. 1 unit of pretty good infantry, the Bactrian Royal Guard are pretty solid. So I'll start the game now. Paladin Bob has some 3 Bactrian Legionnaires, auxiliary Syrian archers, armoured Legionnaires, 3 of those, some velites. We thought we'd be up against elephants, so we took some of those, and it turns out we were right. I think Elita Legionarri does have some elephants, and 2 auxiliary cavalry and a general's bodyguard. Yeah, here we are. So they start on this hill there, and Elita Legionarri is going forward to the top of the hill, and the Egyptian player, we can't see him yet, but he's down kind of around this area. So this battle, it showcases some of the advantages and disadvantages of this sort of army that I'm using. A lot of cheap pikes. So I'm not sure why I have these guys up so close. I withdraw them there when he sends his cav forward. I think I've started taking missile fire soon, so I want to get them out there. I move my archers into position to start the missile drill. No, I don't take any casualties. So I'm moving up my pikes. I'm perhaps a little bit hasty here. You'll see why in a second, why I'm probably too hasty. Moving them up, although I do want to take the hill as quickly as possible. And Paladin Bob also moving up here, which we're trying to move to the left as much as possible. Now in a 2v2, communication is really important, and that's why Elita Legionarri and we often win our battles. In fact, I can't think of a battle off the top of my head that I've run through that we've lost. So we've done a few. So teamwork's really important, and in this, obviously we were not on voice chat or anything, Paladin Bob and I, so the way we communicated was with the drawings on the map. They were really useful. I reckon it's a really good addition to the game. I think it wasn't, I'm not sure if it was any installment before, but it's certainly in Rome 2. We can draw on the map, and so you use the map markings to kind of signal where you're looking at attacking, or where you think you should send a unit. You can circle on the map and draw arrows, so it's really handy. So I said before that this would demonstrate some of the strengths and weaknesses of this sort of build. Well, here is a weakness, missile units. So you look at these, you've got some slingers and some Nubian bowmen shooting the shield of pikes, and they're absolutely melting. Now if this was javelin units, peltists, it would be 10 times as bad. They would have routed, pretty much instantly when they got hit by this much missile fire. But they're certainly not going to last very long. So with these sort of units, you can afford to lose maybe 1 or 2 Livy pikemen because there's a lot of them and they're cheap. But you don't want this missile duel to go on for too long, because if it goes on for too long, you're not going to have much left. So it's only been a few moments, and they were about to rout. I'm surprised if they rout soon. Anyway, they've taken a lot of casualties. Now this unit's taking a lot of casualties, so it's certainly a big weakness here of that sort of build. But anyway, over here I charged my Bactrian Royal Horse into the Gemma cav here. They're a melee unit, so I'm hoping that they'll last a while. As the Elita Legionarri are charged in these elephants, and they're going to be really good against the cav. So I get my Bactria Royal Cav and my Cataphract just to charge his line. I'm not sure if I can actually get through here or not. I think I'd try when I get hooked up on these swordsmen. So the Egyptian player's made a bit of a mistake here. He hasn't lined up his infantry alongside Elita Legionarri, and so they're not lined up together. So I just decided to charge my Cataphract straight through into these missile units and perhaps even through to these Egyptian Cav, which the Cataphract should be able to easily handle. So over here my Bactrian Noble Horse, it looks like it's starting to break. I'm trying to get these Bactrian Royal Cav into the flank here, but they're kind of getting caught up on these Thorax swordsmen. Yeah, I should probably be getting my Hellenic Cataphracts out and cycling their charges. They've done a lot of damage, but their real strength is charging, so I should probably pull them out and get them to charge again, or they are tired. So, probably best to get them out. I did use trample, so that's probably not helping that. Anyway, my Cataphracts break through all these archers and get through to these Egyptian Cav here. Now, they are melee, they are shock Cav, so melee fighting is not their strength, but they're really well armoured, and Hellenic Cataphracts do very well in a melee. So I'm trying to run down as many of these missile units as I can, but these Egyptian Cav, the light Cav, so they're going to catch me, so I just stand and fight there, and I should be able to easily smash those Egyptian cavalry, even in melee. So here some of what's left of my pikes are engaging this line, but you can see I'm barely scratching him here, and these guys aren't even in shield wall. I mean, I just inflicted one casualty, and he's been in the melee for a little bit. So hardly doing anything here with these pikes attacking him. I think it's because I'm fighting uphill, so he gets it's harder for me to fight. Anyway, he moves back here because we're pressing down on his flank pretty hard. And the Paladin Legionnaires are moving up here. And my Hellenic Cataphracts, they've taken probably a bit more casualties than they should have. I really should have withdrawn them out and charged them again. Here my Cataphracts, there's someone here fighting his Egyptian Cav, and what my Cataphracts have done, they've pretty much held up all of his Cav just with one unit of Cataphracts, and they're going to do fairly well on that. Oh, he's got some Ptolemaic cavalry there, so they'll do well. But his Egyptian Cav won't really be much match for my Cataphracts, so I get my pikes up here, and in a front-on contest with pikes, even these Galatian Royal Guard are going to struggle, and this is exactly how you want to use them. You want to get them into the front of their infantry and not give them any opportunities to get around your flank, because these are really cheap troops. They're about 200, 250 each, and these Galatian Royal Guard are over 1,000. So you really don't want them to get our flank, so I think soon I start moving these Levy pikemen down, because I can see that these units are going to come into my flank here, and you really don't want that. At least I hope I'm about to start moving them down there. So over here, we break through his line, and have some cavalry in there. And here I start moving my pikes down. It's a little bit too late for this unit, it's got caught in the flank. So he's going after my archers here, but I can just run them back because they're quite light. So here my pikes, so they're fighting uphill now. So this is really going to cause trouble for them. I mean, this one unit of pikemen is going to dish out a real beating to both these units of spearmen. So this is actually an advantage here of this kind of tactic. Not so much now, but certainly before. I could just push straight up the centre, straight up here, not having to worry about my left flank because Paladin Bob was advancing there and had that covered, and I didn't really have to worry about my right too much, because if he comes up from the right, he'll be fighting uphill like he is here, and he's just going to take an absolute beating from these Levy pikemen. Even though they're cheaper and worse in quality, they're fighting uphill, and they're pikemen, so they're being attacked from the front, so it's not going to work out very well for them. And that's a really big advantage. So I can just move my troops straight up and straight into the front of his troops, which is exactly how you want to use these Levy pikemen. If you can get them fighting from the front, then they'll do a really good job against even these Galatian Royal Guard. They're doing a great job of holding them up. Well, we finish off Elita Legionarri and use our Cav to do most of the work, especially my Hellenic Cataphracts. I think it was the right decision charging into all that Cav, because it held them up quite well and pretty much took all the Egyptian Cav out of the fight with two of my Cataphracts, which I suppose they are quite a good unit. They're quite expensive. They're about 1,300, I think, something along those lines. They're not cheap anyway. So we decided to send our Cav after the last of Elita Legionari's units to stop them from regrouping, and there's an Egyptian Cav here, which our Cav shouldn't have any problem with. You noticed my Bactrian Royal Horse and Bactrian Royal Cav are actually fresh. They've been doing a lot of fighting. The reason they're fresh is because of my general. He has the I forget what it's called. Second Wind, that's the one, which refreshes their fatigue. It's an absolute godsend when you've got cavalry that have been fighting lots and charging lots and they're tired, and you can make them fresh again. Not only do they move faster, they do more damage on the charge and they fight better and they're much less likely to rout. I really like that ability when you're using powerful cav, being able to refresh their fatigue, that you get so much more use out of them. So anyway, this Bactria Royal Guard, actually I left, it only just got in that fight there. I think I just missed it coming in, but I left it all the way back here. It's a mistake I often make, leaving my elite units behind because I don't number them with my line infantry or my main line infantry, so I forget about them. It's a mistake I make quite a bit and really should do something about that. Anyway, so they get in here and they were fighting this really long line of Fedora spears. They kind of looked like they were doing nothing, but they were actually fighting. It's just a really long, thin line, doing not a lot. So here I charge my cataphracts into his rear, and these legionnaires coming in. So this Egyptian army isn't going to last long. They've been using flaming arrows to help encourage his men to rout, which they have been. And we're going to be racking around here, so I think this battle's almost done. There's an Egyptian unit, that's routed, that one's probably going to rout soon. So anyway, yeah, this build worked out pretty well, but you saw at the start there, my pikes taking a lot of damage from missile fire. If that had carried on for much longer, I wouldn't have had many pikes there. So a close victory there. But if we look at the replay, or the results rather, one of these cataphracts, 346. So as I thought, they did a lot of the work in the army, or they were supposed to, because they were the most expensive units, and I had quite a lot of them. These archers, one of them did really well, 150, which I was a little bit surprised about. But some of them I had getting flank shots on that Egyptian infantry, and they're all clustered up. So I suppose I can see why that happened. The Bactria Royal Guard, they didn't see much action until the end, but they actually did quite well. Some of these pikemen did not very well at all, although a couple did actually pretty well. 159, that's more than some of my cataphracts got. So that pikeman certainly did pretty well, and the other one, 142. A lot of them took, well, a lot of casualties. Some of them came off moderately unscathed, but for the most part, I think, yeah, apart from two of them doing really well, they did their job of holding up the infantry long enough for my cav to do the work, and Paladin Bob to kind of team up on Elita Legionarri and take them out quickly, and then move on to the Egyptian. Elita Legionarri here, this mercenary Syrian armored elephant, 209, did absolutely fantastically. You can see elephants still really good unit, and particularly I think these ones are the best in the game, the Syrian ones. Yeah, I think they are. I mean, his Gamma Cav and Cataphracts didn't do that well, because I think they got bogged down at the start, fighting my Bactria Noble Horse and some of Paladin Bob's Legionnaires. So I think they're all shot cav, so it certainly didn't play to their strengths. Slingers, yeah, and then some of them did pretty well. They got a lot of fire. I imagine a lot of their kills would be on my pikes early on, and a lot of them also probably went to some of, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that guy's name, apples and some Chinese letters, I don't know. But these thorax swordsmen, yeah, they got pretty well owned, I think. They just weren't really a match for Paladin Bob's Legionnaires and my pikes from the front. So let's look at Paladin Bob's force. So General's Bodyguard actually got quite a lot of kills. These auxiliary cav, I just don't think they were matched with elephants. I imagine, yeah, a lot of these elephant kills would have been on my cav and his cav there. The archers and the Velites doing okay. Yeah, some of these veteran Legionnaires did okay too. If we look at this guy's army, so the Egyptian cav got 73 kills, which I was a bit surprised about. I can't remember any Egyptian cav particularly marauding anywhere and doing lots of damage, but or maybe it was just in a melee somewhere I didn't really notice. These Nubian bowmen did alright. One of these Thoros spears actually did pretty well, better than some of these Galatian Royal Guard. I suspect the reason the Galatian Royal Guard didn't do that well is because a lot of them were fighting my pikes from the front. So not only were they taking quite a few casualties, they're also not inflicting that many, because pikes, if they're attacked from the front, they're quite good at keeping them in a distance so they can't do as much damage. If they'd been attacked from the flank with these units, it would have been a completely different story. They would have been probably gone in minutes. But anyway, in way of summary, the kills, I got 1,590, Paladin Bob had 657, Elita Legionarri had 852, and Apples and Chinese Letters had 550. Yeah, I took quite a lot of casualties there actually, particularly, go back to, my cavalry, very few of them survived, so plenty of glory, but not much living afterwards. The pikes, once again, a lot of casualties, Some of them survived okay. The archers in my Bactrian Royal Guard were the only ones that survived more or less intact. So a good game to Elita Legionarri, Paladin Bob, and yeah, apples and Chinese letters. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I think Paladin Bob's going to be uploading this. I sent him the replay file. He asked for that a while ago, so I'm not sure he's going to upload it to his channel or not. I think he might be. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.